So I'm actually jumping into the future right now, which I love. And we have someone that's probably just down the street from you. I don't know where
Yeah,
he is
I know.
like, geographically, but let's see if we can bring Naz in. Hey, Naz, how are you, buddy?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good to see you, my friend. Now, you're from Sydney.
Good to see you too.
Right, Sydney. Okay.
I am. I'm sort of northwest of Sydney. Let's say that.
Okay, so you're just a little bit. So you're close enough. Listen, you're right in his time zone. It's rare. It's very rare we get anyone in his time zone.
No one in Sydney. Yeah. No one in Sydney wants to talk to me, but anyway.
Absolutely. So now they just
there's me.
Well, I so appreciate you being here and sticking around and waiting all this time in the green room. So appreciate that. I just noticed for the first time though, you got a guitar in the background. So you're a musician as well.
I do have a guitar, and I don't play a lot of it though.
That's okay.
I play a few different Eastern instruments, but trying. So
when you say Eastern, give me one. What do you play?
Have you heard of a rebab?
I have. Oh, see,
yes, I've got a rebab.
Okay, we got to chat about that off. We'll chat about that. Listen, musicians love musicians. Got a soft heart for
love music.
Yeah, absolutely. I love music. It's the international language. We can go anywhere in the world. I'm going to leave you with Stephen with your question. Hey, thanks for joining us in the show. We so appreciate it.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Thanks for doing this.
Great, mate. Thank you for doing this. I truly appreciate it, mate. Look, I'm absolutely astonished at your sort of talent of breaking the mechanics of everything. It's like absolutely crazy. Now, I've seen a lot of your videos, and sometimes I don't understand it. Maybe I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, but I have to go back through it and sort of pause and look, and it boom makes sense. But it's awesome. So
that's normally what happens is if you're and this is a message for everyone inspired by Naz, if you're looking for a bit of light content that can entertain you, or a bit of light content that might teach you something, maybe this is not for you. If you're looking for something that's going to shift your soul and enable you to take the next step on your life that you've been desperately wanting to take, Rhonda as an example, just gone, then I'm talking to you.
Absolutely. I truly agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Go for it, buddy. Thanks for that. It's a good message inspired by you. Go for it.
Nice. So my question for you, Stephen, it's about the yin and the yang. Yep. It's about spiritual and material. And I have struggled this for quite a while now. Where do you draw the line? Where's the equilibrium? I know you talk about the head-based and heart-based. But where do you draw the line? We live in a dualistic world. There has to surely be an equilibrium where we have to draw the line, because you can't be just all love, give. And from experience, every time I've sort of leaned too much towards one of these things, I've experienced chaos. And so, so that's the question, basically.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is not, when I say spiritual, I'm not talking about religion. There's nothing wrong with the religion, by the way, but
no,
we are all spiritual beings living out, as my mentor Bob always used to say to me, we are spiritual beings living out a human existence.
Yes.
So when you say you draw the line, there is no line. We live in the atmosphere of spirituality. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people would go, well, isn't that religion, Steve? No, religion is man's interpretation of spirituality. That's why we have religious wars. We don't have spirituality wars. So the atmosphere of your being is spirituality. And spirituality is all of the things I put into the Dasadii tactic this morning about kindness and gratitude, forgiveness, all those types of things. Every single thing. And so from my point of view, it's a little bit like going, yes, you can do the northern and southern hemispheres and all that kind of stuff. But if you said to someone, how do you put a line through the atmosphere of planet Earth? You don't. How do you divide gravity? You don't. How do you actually divide the atmosphere between that side and that side, and that side's better than this side? You don't. Some parts are colder than others, but oxygen is oxygen. So the first thing you need to do, you need to be a being of holistic spirituality. Oh, what does that actually mean? You need to be true to yourself. So the first element of spirituality is your truth. The second element of spirituality is forgiveness. The third element of spirituality is service. You're a spiritual being of truth, forgiveness, and service. Period. Put a line through that. Okay? Now, I understand there's an element of, well, what about the commercialism, Steve? How do we do commercialism? Well, let's do that for a second. And my black pen has made a comeback. Down here, there is 3 things that you need to do. Down here is where people transact time and money. And it's literally a transaction. Here is how people transform. Here is how people transcend. The reason people get so emotional on the show is I play here. And what happens is you get people from a position of they're unaware of who you are. They're unaware of, guess what? Your truth, forgiveness, and service. They become aware of you. They become engaged with you. And then they become engrossed with you. They'll get on the show and say all the things that people say, which is very kind, because everything I do is play in the process of, I'm going to transform your life and your belief, because most people are transacting doubt. We are going to transform you into love and transform you into a spirit of, guess what? Truth, forgiveness, and service. And once you've got truth, forgiveness, and service, you unlock purpose and passion. So what does that look like on a commercial basis? You can come into the Inspiring Insights show, which is what you've done. Then you can come into Soul Shifters, which is what you've done. Then you can come into the movement of Desadie. Then you can actually start being coached by me. And I make no apologies, that's what I'm doing. But all of this will forever stay free. Forever stay free. Because the Soul Shifters and the Desadie platform is a platform for everyone where no one gets left behind. But if you want me to coach you, I will. If you want to get involved and pay $1 a day to get involved in the movement, we will. But if you want to stay down here and just have your moment with Steve that'll inspire you and encourage you, then that's fine. So one of the things that you need to do is, how unaware are people of your truth, forgiveness, and service? How aware can you make them of your truth, forgiveness, and service? And then you engage them from a place of purpose and passion, because when you have purpose and passion, other people call that their truth. They call it trust. And people invest in trust. So do you want me to do the short version, the real simple version? You need to work out that there is no divide between being a spiritual being and being a commercial being. They're the same thing. You need to work and operate from truth, forgiveness, and service. So truth, forgiveness, and service is, you're going to be the best bricklayer you can. You're going to be the best baker you can. You're going to be the best coach you can. You're going to actually have to compete with how much is out there right now. And most people are not interested in transcending and transforming everyone. Most people are trying to get you to go from unaware to aware, make as many comments and as many likes about me as you possibly can. And by the way, if you put your details on my page and give me some money, I'll tell you how to buy one of these swimming pools that are behind me. Don't worry that it's a green screen and it's not real. And most people don't want a swimming pool or a green screen. Most people want you to do what I just did with Rhonda. So the very first thing that you need to focus on in your business and your life is, you're a spiritual person of truth, forgiveness, and service. What is your purpose and what is your passion? And Peter expressed his passion of his music. It's the reason Peter Clark will sometimes go on holidays. And one occasion I know of, he went to Ireland and he walks around Ireland with his guitar in an evening, and he walks in, he buys a beer and he goes, "Do you mind if I play?" And he did it recently in a story he told last week, where a lady came up and said, "I was thinking of killing myself today because I'm feeling so desperate about my life. And I came in to have a beer to calm down and probably give myself the courage to do it. And you started playing, and you've made a difference in my life." Because Peter's truth, forgiveness, and service is, he has a purpose and a passion for music. You could tell by the way he got so excited. The show's running over today, and Peter's still rabbiting on about music. And I love him for it, because it's his purpose and passion. So the very first thing you need to do, what is your purpose and passion? What are you trying to achieve? Or are you just trying to transact time and money? Because welcome to the world of noise if that's all you're doing.
Wow. Naz, you get that, brother? Man, I
do. I absolutely do. Yes.
And this will be cut out and sent as a separate video for you to watch, Naz. But an inside of Soul Shifters, now that we've finished all of the building that's been going on now, or Soul Shifters now will start getting populated more and more with me teaching you how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely amazing. Look, when I was referring to spirituality, I was in no means referring to religion.
No, that's fine.
But when you say that the spiritual world is also the material world, so it's the same thing.
Yes.
But with the headspace and heart space, I'll tell you a little quick thing. I'm not going to take too much time. Just touching base on that commercializing, and monetary values, or charging money in simple terms, from experience. Look, my experience, personal experience. The minute you offer something for free, it immediately loses 99% of its value. I have done experiments with that. So, I've offered my coaching services for free, where people I've had a 1% successful ratio. Where then if I've offered it through money, charging for it, I've had all of a sudden same content 70% success. How does that work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah.
But
people.
It's you stand on the street and hand out $10 notes. People will walk past because they don't think it's real, even though it's a real $10 note.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's keep going.
So I absolutely appreciate what you're doing, and I see the value behind it. And I am with you when you say this is totally for free, and I don't want to monetize on it. But
That's not what I said.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know how this
not
works?
Exactly. Yes.
No. I understand, but it's a good distinction. Here's a question to every single person, and this includes you, Naz, but for everyone else. What is it that you're good at? You know why we do Inspiring Insights? Because I had a conversation with Peter 2.5 years ago on my birthday. I did some work with a guy out of Florida who's won Emmys and all those types of things. And people who have worked with me and invested in my coaching, one of the most common things people say, and it's at the end of the intro video, I've never met anyone quite like you. And Matthew, bless him, Matthew actually said to me, he said, Steve, you need to do what you do one-to-one in front of many, because no one will believe you can do it. No one can believe you can write on a whiteboard instantaneously. No one can believe it. So Inspiring Insights, guess what it is? In one level, just as a commercial perspective, this show runs for an hour or so as best as we can. And all it is upward of 50 bits of content that gets created. So my content creation is happening right now. Because the one thing that is unique about me, and we all have our uniqueness, is the ability for me to do this. So the reason I do this is for me to promote one-to-one in front of many, because no one can believe I can do this. Because how do you explain it? And I spent 10 years trying to work out, how do I describe and how do I sell and monetize? I've never met anyone quite like you, because if people don't understand it, they won't buy it. So question to you, Naz, what is it that makes you unique about what you do? Because this is not giving away stuff for free. This is collecting abundance of examples of the gift that is me. What is the abundant example of the gift that is you? Because here's the deal. Your brand needs to be what people feel when they hear it, what people want when they hear it, and what people think about it when they hear it. The Dasadie brand, it's the reason why you'll see things coming out, Dasadie Masterclass, Dasadie Wisdom, Dasadie Nuggets, Dasadie Insights. You hear the word Dasadie, and over time, what you feel, want, and think will be a shift in your soul. I'm trying to actually replace the word Dasadie with the level of feeling, wanting, and thinking that has people so engrossed, not in me, in themselves. So Naz, if I think of the brand of Naz, do this real quick. If I think of the brand of Naz, what do I feel, what do I want, and what do I think when I hear brand Naz? And you know what, mate? If you can't answer that question, how the hell am I? How the hell is anyone who you're going to coach? So the difference is what most people do is they never spend enough time working out what people are going to buy, and then they have the discussion between free and cost. And they don't even know what's the value. This is value. This is cost. So the brand NAS, what are people going to feel when they experience it? What are they going to get? Therefore, what you can tell them that they want, and what are they going to think about? So, for example, some of the comments, and when people think about Dasadie now, they're now starting to say soul shifters are with you. What do you think Rhonda thinks, wants, and feels about the brand of Dasadie? So, what's the brand of NAS? What do people feel when they've engaged with you? So let's do this real quick, and I know I've got to wrap up. When you do one-to-one coaching with people, whether it's free or whether it's paid, what are the top 3 things that they're feeling? Behavior. How are they behaving? Number 2, what do they want? When they first ring you up, what are the things that they are asking? Number 3, what are the 3 things as you talk to them that they start going, aha? Oh my goodness, I never thought of that. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. So if you think of what's happened today with each of the guests, what are they feeling? How are they behaving? Right down to Rhonda being emotional about realizing she's as beautiful as she's forgotten to remind herself. What are they wanting? What are the 3 things people are wanting? Guess what it is? Clarity, confidence, to be able to be creative. And then what are they thinking during the course of this? Yes, they're thinking about, isn't this amazing the way Steve does it? But what's their aha moments? Oh, that's so clear. Oh, Steve, I know what I've got to do now. So brand NAS, what are people feeling when you speak to them? So the first thing I want you to do is think of all of the coaching sessions you've done. Pick out 3 of them. Ask yourself with each of those people. So it'll be Tony, Jenny, and Phil, for example, right? What did Tony, Jenny, and Phil, what was their belief? What was their behavior, I should say? What did they actually do? Then what were they actually wanting? When they got on the call, what were they asking me about? Then, as we spoke, and by the time we finished, what were the aha moments they said about experiencing the brand of NAS? If you work out those 9 elements to your brand, you've now just identified what people feel, what people want, and what people think when they experience you. And that will put you 99% higher than everyone else who's busy trying to work out, how do I actually cost my value? And they haven't worked out what their value is.
I love that.
The Inspiring Insights show is currently creating a level of pricelessness in everyone's soul, and I'm getting content with people seeing it live. We don't book anyone on that. The reason that we're up to episode 16 before we finally done a commercial about coming on the show is the show's booked out until mid-October, I think, by people recommending people to come on the show, and everyone going, how do you get people on your show? I'm getting their names wrong. Sorry, I write people's names down in the corner. I don't know who's coming on the show because Naz is referring this person, who's referring that person, who's referring that. Why? Because of how they feel, want, and think when they meet me. What are people feeling, wanting, and thinking when they meet you, Naz? And if you don't know what it is, I just gave you a 9-point plan on how to find out. Peter?
Yeah, I love that you went to that with Naz, because it also applies to Shannon, and what
applies to everybody.
It applies to everybody. I'm just thinking of Rhonda. Talked about, she's moving in one direction, getting pushed back to another. Shannon keeps driving, pushing forward, and people are going, what are you doing? And so on. And again, if we can't answer those questions about how people feel and think and so on. But Naz, I'll also add very quickly, brother, I so feel your pain, my friend, about the balance between what you give and I heard at the very beginning, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I know what you mean with that feeling of, man, you just can't give. I mean, I know everyone knows the Gary Vee thinking of give, ask, give, ask. It's like, well, man, if that sounds outnumbered to me. And after a while you get very frustrated. So I know what you mean. I know that there's a give and take. I really believe that. But I heard it in your voice when you said, man, you just can't be giving all the time. And that's the reciprocity. That's one of my favorite words. And I know that Stephen and I talked about reciprocity as well. And I know Stephen's going to match up there. And it's funny you said, aha, Stephen, because we are going to bring back the other guests in a second.
Yep,
but
just a sec. Content, yeah. So really quickly, if you want to know why we do Inspiring Insights, because even Peter said when I had a session with Peter, or I didn't have a session, we just had a conversation 2 years ago on my birthday. And then later on, when I said to Matthew, one of the Dasadie guests who invests in himself via me, he said, you need to do one-to-ones in front of many. And then Peter and I chatted and goes, yeah, we should do a show. Then I got the Dasadie Angels to go through all of my comments in the last 6 months. What are the most repetitive words people are saying about me? Inspiring, insightful, wisdom. They were the 3 top words. So guess what we do? We've created a show that actually captures and shares for content that are called Desadi Masterclass, Desadi Inspiring, Desadi Insights, Desadi Wisdom, Desadi Bites. Why? Because the people who experienced me told me to do it. The people who experienced me said this is what they get. So now we just do a show where we capture and show them. And everyone's going, Steve, how are you doing this? I'm listening. I'm understanding. I'm feeling. I'm not trying to divide the difference between what's what and how do I value and cost. Naz, what are people saying about you? And go and mine into that. Go make a difference with the world with that. Because that's one-to-one in front of many, inspiring insights. What are we going to call it? What people tell me I am. What are we going to do? Capture one-to-ones based on inspiring, insightful wisdom, and then cut it up into 50 bits of content each week and send it out. Boom.
Boom.
And then people who lose their children, mothers who have had infants die, ring up and say, Steve, I need you to teach me how to get my life back. Okay.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. Naz, I hope that there's a ton of stuff in there.